Hello everybody, my name is Hikes and welcome to this adventure. Today we will be playing Dagon, which is an HP Lovecraft game, which is like the squid monster and stuff like that. What is that called? Cthulhu, that's what it's called, Cthulhu style game. Perfect, let's go and give this a try. Dagon is a faithful, interactive, adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here, and movement is limited to progressing through locations along with the plot. Okay.
I am writing this under appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Oh, how do you know that? Cool. Okay. During the game, you'll find interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey. Others reveal interesting facts about the original short story, its historical background, and the author. We've got interact that I don't know what that is. A crack or a branch, and then a mystery. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the elder sign. Oh, which is that? That's the elder sign. And this looks like it's right click. Okay. Zoop.
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
Got it. How do I do that? Can't really go that way. Oh! That's all I needed to do.
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
Morphine? Okay.
When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Okay. So you're addicted to morphine? Oh. I write something.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
I think I broke it. Did I break it? Okay, my controller was vibrating really hard because it was just still attached to the computer. And when I unplugged the controller, everything stopped in the whole computer. So I had to shut down and come back. But here I am. I think the previous thing has saved. If not, this is the beginning, but we're going through. Okay, and we're looking at a boat.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Got it, and we're moving there. Boom! Okay, what do we got?
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation.
Okay.
So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Cool. Oh. Mystery. Oh, the Huns. The Huns were Central Asian nomads who established a dominion in Europe and invaded the Roman Empire in the 5th century AD. They were known as brutal, deadly warriors and masters of quick raids who also developed powerful composite bows, lassos, and early siege weapons. During World War I, the British used the word Hun as a synonym for Germans in order to emphasize their brutality. However, the term originated when the German Emperor Wilhelm II gave a speech to his troops on 27th July 1900 before they embarked to China. Should you encounter the enemy, he will be defeated. No quarter will be given. Prisoners will not be taken. Whoever falls into your hand is forfeited. Just as 1,000 years ago, the Huns under their king Attila made a name for themselves, one that even today makes them seem mighty in history and legend. May the name German be affirmed by you in such a way in China that no Chinese will ever gain again dared to look cross-eyed at a German. The refusal to take prisoners was a clear breach of the laws and customs of war adopted during the First Hague Convention of 1899. Cool. You can read the Discover's trivia. Okay. Cool. I found trivia. Oh, we're going to a lifeboat? Okay.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time.
Nice. Anything else that I can see? Nope. Let's go. We're going to sea.
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings.
I'm guessing this is a flashback. Okay.
Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Okay.
Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
Yeah. I'm hearing random noises, I feel like. The moon! I'm traveling to the moon!
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Okay. Good. What is happening? Am I hearing things like into like my left ear? I don't know. What you got? Drink water. Survive.
But neither ship nor land appeared, I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Into the sun. Okay.
The change happened whilst I slept.
Ooh.
Its details I shall never know.
You have been changed.
For my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Perfect. Oh! Hi. Hello. Okay. They're moving. The sea is gone. I'm dreaming.
When at last I
100%.
awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
Yeah, lots of undulating happening here.
My boat lay grounded some distance away.
Yeah,
though
your
one
food's
might
there.
well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery. I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
That's fair.
For there was in the air and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core.
That is
the region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
Oh, there's that one. He's upside down. Sad. This looks like that's guarding something glowing.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, some of these things are too big or too small or upside down for no reason. But we shall continue.
There was nothing within hearing and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear. The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Yeah. This is a big squid. Oh, we're looking now. Where shall I look? Okay, we can go back onto the boat. Are we squelchy? Very squelchy. Okay, we're on the boat.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position.
Okay, let's hear it.
Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths.
Where'd the water go? That would probably destroy most, if not all, the world.
So
if that
great
happened,
was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath
of
me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might.
That ground's moving. The big slime.
Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
Yeah, I don't think I'd eat those. You're there? Is there like multiple options, or is this just one? I'm guessing one, because this is more like just a story-based thing, but let's see.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens. As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
So like wispy things like right behind the boat. Oh, I saw you. Okay. How long we wait?
I slept but little. And
That's
the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
Perfect. I'm guessing, yeah, we shall take the bag of supplies.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease.
Oh, nice. So, like, the water's fully
gone.
The
odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight
get used to it.
And set out boldly for an unknown goal.
It's just a little stinky for now. It'll be like the fresh air in a little while. We continue onward into the vast expanse of
all day
whatever
these steadily are. Westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
Those are not known things. They have bone claws and weird shapes. We continue. I don't like these spider legs. That's a whale. Are you dead? You've been beached. I don't like you. You make me uncomfy. Oh, that's bigger than I thought. I thought it was right on the rock. Oh.
That night, I encamped, and on the following day still traveled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
So it looks like the hill is not getting closer, and there are lots of tentacles. Love that. Oh. Okay. What do we have? Oh, we're here.
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound,
full day,
which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Yeah, that's usually what happens when you go towards something and it almost seems to not get very close. Ooh, what are you? I saw. Ooh.
An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface.
Okay.
Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
Cool. Snoozing.
I know not why my dreams were so wild that night.
Are you sure?
But ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain.
Yep.
I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more.
Okay, I determined.
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again.
Nightmares, that's fair.
And in the glow of the moon, I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day.
Why? Is traveling at night better?
Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah,
indeed,
I guess that's okay.
I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset.
Why do I have more energy?
Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
Let's go. The crest. Oh, pack. Oh, there was something there! I missed it.
The unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me.
Yep.
But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound.
What'd you find?
And looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon.
Oh.
Whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Okay.
I felt myself on the edge of the world, peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night. Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost, and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness.
I found the realm of
darkness. As
darkness.
the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
Okay. Am I going in? Am I climbing down?
Ledges and
am I just looking?
Outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent.
Oh, so why?
Whilst after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
Okay. Why? Why? I'm trying to find land that is not moist and damp and seems to be at the bottom of the ocean, but instead I go up a mountain and then I climb into the darkness for no reason. But here we go. What do we got? What do we got?
Urged on by an impulse which I cannot definitely analyze,
well, I guess that's
I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath.
Okay.
Gazing into the Stygian deeps.
There's a tower.
Where no light had yet penetrated.
Or column, or pillar, whatever you want to call it.
All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope.
It still looks slimy.
Which rose steeply, about 100 yards ahead of me. An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Wow, pretty. Cool. So I can go that way, and there was nothing else. No trivia. Okay, because I missed one, which is sad, but it's fine. Yep.
That it was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself.
Did you not think it was?
But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature.
No, it's very angular.
A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express.
Then don't express them. Okay, let's take a look.
For despite its enormous magnitude, and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith.
How would you just know that?
Whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures.
Yep, makes sense.
Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
Cool. That's not very examining more closely. This, like, end of, like, this light is weird. But we shall continue forward. For water!
The moon, now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm.
Whales, skulls, water. Don't know. More sea creatures.
And revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions, and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope.
Lapping.
Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the cyclopean monolith.
Am I going to it?
On whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
Sculptures? They look just like inscriptions only to me, but okay. I'm gonna swim across. Is that what's happening? Let's go.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books.
They're sea creatures. And an interesting frame.
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like.
There's sharks. Mostly, it seems like. Oh, two.
Several characters obviously represented marine things.
That looks like Cthulhu in the center.
World, but whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Pictorial, okay. Yeah, that guy looks like a good description of Cthulhu, or it's just An evil-looking squid. Oh. What are you? Okay. Storytelling methods. Dagon contains many themes and storytelling methods that Lovecraft developed in his later works, such as telling the story through the carvings at the Mountains of Madness, Journey in Characters' Notes, The Shadow Out of Time, The Haunted of the Dark, Islands Emerging from the Ocean, The Call of Cthulhu, or fictional beings and deities based on real events and mythologies, Megao in The Whispers in Darkness. It's also considered the origin of the popular Cthulhu mythos. Some of the Lovecraft's other stories also conclude in a manner similar to Dagon, but let's skip the details in order not to spoil the ending. Perfect.
Plainly visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré.
I don't know what a doré is.
I think that these things were supposed to depict men.
Oh?
At least a certain sort of men.
Oh, those guys.
Though the creatures were shown disporting like
They were
fishes
shown
in
the
waters
shape
of some marine grotto, or paying homage at some monolithic shrine, which appeared to be under the waves as well.
Just like this one, except we are no longer
of their
underwater.
Faces and forms I dare not speak in detail.
Okay.
For the mere remembrance makes
Guy
me grow
below
faint.
looks creepy.
Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
Oh, that may be Cthulhu face. I don't know, the bottom one.
They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips.
You're doing a lot of details that I'm not really
Glassy,
seeing, but I'm enjoying
bulging
listening.
eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall.
True.
Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background.
That's fair.
For one of the
Unless they're
creatures
huge.
was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself.
So he's big as a whale.
I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe.
Yep, because that explains the ocean basically disappearing.
Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born.
Like fish creatures? Fish people? Mermaids? Or real?
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist, I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me.
Got it.
Then, suddenly, I saw it.
What am I seeing? I'm not seeing... Oh! Something's coming!
A slight churning to mark its rise to the surface.
Slight? What do you mean?
Slid into view above the dark waters.
I don't see anything. What is it?
Polyphemus-like and loathsome, it darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith.
That thing's big!
About which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, the while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
Is it grabbing it? I'm losing consciousness.
I think I went mad then.
Oh. Fully went crazy by looking at it. Understood.
Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
Oh, you went all the way back to the boat. Cool. We're going. Jeez, how did you climb up that? That seems hard.
I believe
Oh, here's
I
that
sang
thing
a
that I
great
didn't
deal
like.
and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
Okay. Got it. Oh. Oh, there you go. We're leaving that thing behind.
I have
wow.
recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat.
Okay. Is the water coming back?
I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Is the ocean coming back? Because that'd be a lot of rain if it did. And I feel like my boat...
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital.
Okay.
Brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean.
Oh, so it was in the ocean still.
I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention.
That's fair. They really thought I was crazy, as I said that I was myself.
Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing.
Yeah, I was just
Nor did I
floating
deem
adrift.
it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, hello. What you got? The journalist. Lovecraft was a prominent figure in the world of amateur journalism. In 1915, he started publishing his own journal called The Conservative, which included political and social commentary, poetry, short stories, and literary criticism written by him and other authors. I think that's literacy supposed to be. Howard was a... Oh, is it HP? Is his first name Howard? Cool, I did not know that. Howard was a skilled wordsmith, but he also took criticism to heart, which resulted in his decision to step away from writing poetry and concentrate on weird fiction again for the first time since his teenage years. The Dagon, published in 1919, is one of the short stories written during that period. In this example excerpt from The Conservative, the master of horror fiction explains this attitude towards warfare and the idea of world peace. Why any sane human being can believe in the possibility of universal peace is more than the conservative can fathom. Should the entire civilized world agree simultaneously to disarm one or more nations would undoubtedly retain secret armaments and at the proper time take advantage of their more altruising and less astute contemporaries in a wild career of conquest against unarmed victims. No country is or ever can be above warfare until the basic impulses of the human animal shall have miraculously changed. Got it. Sorry, a little stuttering there. Okay, we get up and we move. That door opened while I looked at it.
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Ooh. So he's a fish god. So we got fish god. Okay. Dagon or Dagon was the main deity of the Philistines, worshipped throughout the Middle East as the ancient god of fertility and crops. In Hebrew, the word Dagon was a common noun for grain. The rulers of Akkad, Mesopotamia, chose him as the patron saint of their war conquest. He also appeared as the judge of the dead in an Assyrian poem and an underworld prison warder in one of the Babylonian texts. He is often mistakenly taken for a fish god due to the wrong interpretations of his name, as in Hebrew the word dag means fish. In H.P. Lovecraft works, Dagon is an underwater deity ruling over the deep ones, a humanoid race with fish traits that resides in the ocean. He is worshipped by a secret cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. So yeah, it was the fish people. Okay, let's go to this. What more does this story got to offer?
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
That's fair. Probably thought you were going to be crazy. Oh, book. Is that messed up with... I don't know what that says. August Derleth of the Cthulhu Mythos. August Derleth was an American writer and anthologist. He also befriended Lovecraft and published many of his works through his company, Arkham House. Although he greatly contributed to the popularity of the author's work after death, he is surrounded by numerous controversies. One of his most questionable decisions involved introducing the good versus evil doctrine. Derleth was a devout Catholic to the Cthulhu mythos, which contrasted with Lovecraft's view of the world and his approach to cosmic horror. As a result, the author's works are often misunderstood and misrepresented in today's culture. It is also worth noting that Lovecraft was never really interested in creating a mythology, and the term Cthulhu mythos was coined by Derleth after the author left the mortal plane. So after he passed away. Interesting. Oh. The marketer. Lovecraft's attempts to find a job in 1925 were influenced by advice he received from friends. Among others, he started freelancing for a marketing magazine where he would write announcements and commercials. Feel free to judge his copywriting skills for yourself. From an ad for Curtis Woodwork. Okay. Okay. Is this mostly just like background of him? I'm guessing. I think this is like an introduction to his stuff. Oh, green. The scientist. The word scientist is widely accepted term, but at the time Dagon was published, it was subject to a wide debate. After the author used it in a story, critics pointed out that man of science was a more appropriate term to employ. The admitted in defense of Dagon that if Dagon were to be reprinted, he would indeed use the phrase they suggested. Okay. Okay, let's move on. We're back here with the morphine.
Especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing.
The thing.
I tried morphine. But the drug has given only transient surcease, and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave.
Oh, so you're addicted? Got it.
So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Got it. So he's done. Oh. On tobacco and alcohol. Lovecraft hated tobacco, even though he used to smoke when he was 12 in order to look and feel like an adult. In his correspondence with friends Reinhard Kleiner, he claims that he quit as soon as he started wearing long pants. Got it. He also had a very strong opinion about alcohol as evidence. Okay. Cool. I'm guessing this is the end of this.
I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm. A mere freak of fever, as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man of war.
You just going crazy?
This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply.
Ooh?
I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed.
Wow. So like...
worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind.
That was a very big creature.
A day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst
lots
universal pandemonium.
To Statue of Liberty. Oh, let's go there. The destruction of the world by sea creatures.
The end is
that's
near.
gone. Oh! Oh! Hi!
I hear a noise at the door.
Yeah.
As of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Very slippery and squelchy. Oh, let's go.
It shall not find me.
I think it found me.
God, that hand.
That's not a very good hand. It's got claws and stuff.
The window. The window.
What do you mean the window? Oh. The window! Oh, how high up was I? I think I was a little high. Perfect. Thank you for playing. Hope you enjoyed the immersing yourself in the little pool of cosmic horror, we would appreciate it if you took a mention of the Dagon and checked out our other games and DLCs. Perfect. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. This is just like a little game, kind of like an introduction to H.P. Lovecraft. If you've ever wanted to get into that, this is the kind of vibe of everything like that. Kind of like, don't know if things are true that you see and like out at sea and stuff like that, but I think it's very interesting. But if you did enjoy, please leave a like down below, and if you have any other game suggestions, please leave a comment. But I hope you all have a good rest of your day. See ya.